lovely friends, welcome back to my channel, or if it is your first time here, hi, my name is Melissa or Missa. Wig is on because the hair needs washed so badly and I refuse to wash it very much because of my extensions. Anyway, today as you can see by the title, I'm playing with a new Morphe palette. When was the last time I reviewed a new Morphe palette? It is the 35L Ultralavender. As soon as I saw this on Releases and Rants, which is a video that Teresa does every week, I wanted it. Teresa hates it. Tia kind of likes it, and I was like, that's gorgeous. I mean, you can see I've used it from my eyes, like they match it exactly. This is £25, I think. There was a brush set as well, but that's not really as interesting to me. And then this is what the palette looks like. And I can see why a lot of like the sausages and stuff, when I posted it in there, they were like, it's so boring, it's so bland. I can see why people think that, but I'm very much into more neutrals these days, so a lot of these like browns and stuff, I'll get so much use out of them for work, and I really love the pops of purple, and I love the tones of purple. It's very like punched in your face, kind of like, I always kind of describe it as like Huda purples. It's that kind of tones that she does a lot in her palettes, and I really love them, and I love them on my skin tone as well. So I'm going to swatch it. Okay, you have to forgive me, I actually forgot to swatch this, and now I'm completely ready for work. Remembered I have to swatch it, so I'm just going to swatch it on my arm here. I mean, I look super cute. I just don't usually look like this on my channel. This is too natural for my channel. I'm going to swatch it, I think, column by column rather than row by row, because I feel like if I swatch these top two rows, it's all going to look so pale and kind of like look too similar, because a lot of the shades are quite similar. Like they could have edited this down, that's not a lie. They definitely could have got rid of some and had other shades, or just got rid of some altogether, but I think if I do it row by row, it'll look slightly more interesting in the swatches, so let's do it that way. Also, I have to leave for work in 20 minutes, so pray for me. Okay, we've got Cyber Silver. I'm gonna zoom you in because I think it will be darker and better. Yeah, Cyber Silver. And I'll probably swatch them all twice, but I won't video it just for time. Pixelated Pink. Lo-Fi. I'm going row by row. I'm such an idiot. Right, sorry, I'm doing it row by row. Wavelength. Electric Bloom. I'm getting so much fallout on my work top. Future Core. And Lavender Code. This Lavender Code looks exactly the same as Lo-Fi. Like they are pretty much the same. Obviously they are different, but they look the same. Okay, I'm on the next next row. In the Cloud. That's what I used on my cut crease in the video. New Aura. Oh, I'm gonna get so much fallout. Double clicked. See what I mean? Like swatching it row by row. These are all looking so soft and gentle. It's not really that exciting, but I like having light shades to go with my darker ones. We have Love Glitch. That's a really pretty kind of jewel chromy purple gold. Amethyst Dimension. Oh come on Melissa, you can fit another 2 on here. Y3K Bouquet. And one of my favourites, Virtual Violet. Okay, that is the first 2 rows. Again, very soft, very gentle, really pretty shimmer tones, but I don't know if you can see in the swatches, they're pretty, but they're not giving. They're not that exciting. If I swatched like a purple shimmer from like the not the Morphe, from the Beauty Bay palettes, you know what I mean, it would be astounding. These are just soft, pretty shimmers. I've got one on my lid today actually. I used this palette just for this very quick work look because I had it out to swatch it. But yeah, that is the first 2 rows. Very pretty on their own, just boring, but necessary I think in the palette. Most of them, not all of them. I've just started a talking head. Okay, moving on, we have Neutral Space, which is like a satin. It's not a shimmer and it's not a matte. I'm sure you know what a satin is. Follow Me. Oh, that is a stunning shade. That's the kind of colour I'm talking about all over my lid, and just blend it out with itself with a wee like wing and a lash. Just that kind of neutral purple. Hyper Real Heather. This is very pretty. It's a matte with golden sparkles in it. Plugged in. That doesn't really need 2 swipes. Override. Gorgeous purple colour, like purple toned neutrals. Just right my jam, you know. Glowbotic. And HD Berry. The mattes feel so nice to the touch, by the way. They feel very, very smooth, kind of like suede. They're really nice to touch. I thought it's called Flickered and Flashed. This is the next row. Blinking Bronze. Dot Cam. Circuit Breaker. Oh, I need to keep an eye on the time. I'm almost at 10 minutes. Copper Blip. These shimmers look like they're performing really well. They're just, I don't know, I compare everything to Beauty Bay, I think, and it's, maybe I shouldn't. Sparked, talking of Beauty Bay, new palette coming out very soon. I will be buying it. And Enigmatic Static. See what I mean? There is depth in here. I'm very pleased about that. Okay, so that's the next 2 rows. Definitely getting a lot more. That could be a Huda palette in terms of, if you know what I mean. The Huda colour scheme is neutrals, but with a purple under. It's always a purpley neutral. Huda does purples for everything. So that's what I think is why I like this as well, because I like Huda palettes. And that is very much, I feel, a Huda kind of colour scheme, a neutral purple. But they're all very, very pretty. And those shimmers have actually worked really well. I guess because they're darker, they're standing out a bit more. So that's the next 2. We've got Techno Trance. I don't have many to swatch, so I don't need to be that careful. Techno Trance. Velvet Void. Wow. See, I told you the depth in here is really nice. Camera On. That's really pretty. Control Shift. That is a stunning purple. Naughty. Dark Web. I think it's why I don't mind that this palette doesn't have a black, because they're dark. Very vivid. Stunning purple. Switched Off. So yeah, look at that. The depth in there is phenomenal. And obviously the first 2 rows swatched so pale, so not wishy-washy but pale. But when you then have all these dark shades and the mid-toned shades, all those light shades do make sense for blending. I love having them for blending. So I'm very impressed by how this swatched actually, especially the last like 2-3 rows. Like they are dark and they swatched like butter. So yeah, it's what sold me on the palette, was seeing the Morphe swatches. And yeah, okay, now I'm gonna go to work, edit this while I'm there, and okay, hope you enjoyed the swatches. I'm gonna go. Bye. I'm gonna do this look here because everyone on TikTok's like 2016 makeup is back, and what is more 2016 than like a whitish cut crease with a glitter liner around it and a little, you know, this is such 2016 Missa makeup. Also, I'm just not feeling that inspired by eyeshadow recently, which I don't know why. It's not even not inspired, I just can't do eyeshadow, like I've lost my ability. Anyway, if you want to just see me put it on, see how it performs, and then hear my thoughts at the end of the video, then do keep on watching. I'm having an absolute mare with technology. I don't know anything about technology, and I try and learn, and it goes in one ear and out the other. So that's all you need to know. I'm going to prime with my Revlon Candid, always. Just blend it out with my coloured rain sponge. It's really grotty and needs washed, but I'm past the point of caring about anything. I've done like 700 makeup looks over the past 2 days. Don't like any of them. I don't even like this one, but it's not awful, and I'm testing a palette, so it's not even really about the look, so it doesn't really matter. Okay, I'm gonna take the shade Switched Off, which is like one of the darkest ones. This one's actually maybe a bit darker, but it's more cool toned. This one's a bit more warm toned. I'm taking a Stacey Marie 301, which is this teeny tiny little brush, and I'm just gonna do a very rounded look, and I'm trying to keep it quite small, which I know may sound odd, but just quite close to my eye. Anyway, it's not about the look, is it? So I don't really need to talk you through it. I just need to put these colours on and show you how they perform. This, hold on, there's a very loud exhaust. Formula on this so far, I can still hear that exhaust. The formula on this so far is really good. You can see how well this dark shade is going on my base, which is just a concealer. If you're used to a Morphe formula, which I am, it's a good Morphe formula. If you've never tried it and you've only ever tried high end, you might not like it. I always find them like ever so slightly dry, but it's not bad because it's, as you can see, still going on my eye absolutely fine. It's just, it's quite obviously like not a high end formula. I've been playing with quite a few high end eyeshadow palettes. Like over the past couple of days, I may not have not been able to do it, like film any of it because I hated every look I came up with, but you can kind of tell the difference between that and like a Morphe formula, but it's not an expensive palette and I think it's good. Sausage, can we maneuver ourselves off? You're being a pain. I'm going to take the shade Very Vivid right beside it. Don't look at my nails because I obviously, well maybe not obviously to you, I rearranged my room last night and all of my nails popped off bar one. That looks like a certain kind of nail, it's not that. They all just popped off. This is on a Morphe M506, which is my favourite kind of Morphe brush. One of my favourite. I need to get some WD-40 for that door. One of my favourite kind of Morphe brushes, and I'm just going to blend this around. I'm using small brushes because I am trying to keep it pretty close to my eye. I feel like my looks that I've been trying to do, they've all been very blown out and I wasn't liking it, so. This is a gorgeous colour and it blends out that first shade really, really nicely. Like it's a gorgeous, like plummy purple tone. Boys are being very, very needy, so if you hear them a lot in this video, I am sorry. Okay, I feel like I've already taken that too big. I just can't keep looks small. And then I took Virtually Violet because I had to use this shade. It's one of like the prettiest shades in the palette. On another M506. Right, Saucy darling, I'm just going to move that box out. I'm always blaming Sausage for doing naughty stuff and sometimes it is Potato and I do feel bad. Anyway, this shade is stunning and I was like, am I going to be able to blend that out with that? And yes, I did somewhat. I got an incredible comment a few weeks ago and it was like, on one of my eye looks, it's like, oh my goodness, you're so brave sharing these videos. Like you can see your imperfections, but you're just like, you don't mind and you're just sharing what it looks. I was like, what? That's so mean. You just get the funniest comments on YouTube, honestly. I'm not really worried about this front bit because I'm going to be putting my cut crease on anyway. So, and then I went into the one just above it called Lavender Code. This is a gorgeous colour and actually it's quite a lot more pigmented than it looks in the pan. It looks a wee bit pastel-y, but putting it on the eye it's actually very pigmented, so I'm going not very hard. This is a Morphe M514, which is my second favourite Morphe brush. This is a gorgeous colour. I'd like to do just a very like plain, simple work makeup with just this shade all over my eye and maybe like a wing and a lash. I think it would look really nice. And then I took Electric Bloom, this third one across because that one in between's a shimmer. Is this the shade I took? Because now I'm wondering if I took a lighter one, but I'll go in with this anyway. It's another M514. I need to do an order for more M514s because I've only got two and it's my favourite brush. Right, I'm just going to blend this, same colours, same brushes, just like blend it and then I'll put my cut crease on as well and then we'll come back and fill that in because I'm obviously just testing the shadows so I don't need to do that on camera. Right, now that's on, I'm going to go in with the shade In the Cloud, which is this like cream one. I thought it might come out on my eye a little bit more white. I just wanted something pale basically. and not shimmery. I wanted to try matte. So I just stamped it all over. Just like that. And then I decided to blend it into browns rather than into purples. I'm not sure it was the right decision, but what is done is done. So I used Circuit Breaker and .cam. I've always liked browns and purples together. I think they always go really nicely. That was the darker one. And then I'll use this lighter shade just to pull into it. These shadows are very, very pigmented. I haven't actually had a new Morphe palette in a really long time, and I am very impressed by how everything is applying. And then I'll just use that like very first dark purple that we used. It's a really good brush there, My Kit Co 1.30. None of the sparkles, like Morphe shimmers don't tend to be incredible. They tend to just be like standard. Like they're nice, but they're not like stand out wet feeling shimmers. That was a little bit of that shade New Aura just there. I don't know. I'm just not really having it as a shimmery look. It's just not the mood I was in. But I will take the shade Cyber Silver, this very top left one, and I'm going to wet it. Just because, again, Morphe shimmer shades are never spectacular. They're good, but you're not going to write home about them. But as you can see, like, it goes on beautifully wet. So, like, I'm not actually complaining about it, but again, they just don't seem to, like, I don't know, spend a lot of money on their formula or whatever when it comes to shimmers. I went in with Killer Sapphire from Too Faced on my waterline, just like that. And around the edge I did glitter, because what is more like 2016 makeup than a little glittery cut crease? This is the new She Glam ones. This is the shade Confetti. It's just what I went around my liner with. Where's my little mirror? I found it! I don't know if they're like brand new or not, but the colours are so pretty. This is like a champagne with like holographic reflects in it. It's really interesting. They also have like a pure holographic one. How are you supposed to get any work done with cats? Is that pretty much it? That is literally pretty much it. Like I said, very simple, very easy eye look. Just putting some more of that dark one. I'm literally just going to do the same shades, but I think I'm going to wait until my base is on. So I'm going to go put my base on. Oh no, I'm not finished. I'm like, I can see something's different. Is it my under eye? No, I put liner on, obviously. Duh. I'm going to throw on a wee bit of liner. As I always say, I just feel like it balances out my eyes. If I don't do it, I feel like I look very like bottom eye heavy, and it just looks weird. Then I take a little flat brush and that first dark purple that we used, this is a BK 204, and I just stamp over that black liner. So we will like blend it a wee bit more when I've got my base on, but I'm going to go do that in another video because I'm going to do like TikTok pink makeup. You'll see it, and then we'll come back and we'll carry on and finish this eye look off, and obviously the review of this palette. Most of my base is on, and I'm going to take the shade Lo-Fi. This is on Stacey Marie 202, and I'm just going to start blending this eyeshadow into my makeup because it kind of just is eyeshadow and then makeup, and I need to make it all become one happy family. I love this shade. It like turns it very cool tone and it's got a pastelness to it. Like that's stunning. The shade, not necessarily my eyeshadow. And then I might take a bit of double clicked. I don't know, it looks quite pastel-y pink. I'm just gonna use that same brush. I'm just fannying around. Oh yeah. I actually like that because that's gonna blend better into my blush. I can't do makeup anymore. Like the past few weeks. It's not even like my mojo. I just physically can't do makeup. I'm literally no good at it. I'm gonna go back in with that Virtual Violet. I'm already though very happy to have this palette in my collection. I got rid of all my Nervinas and stuff, like my ABH palettes, not that long ago, but actually quite a while ago, and I've not really had a dedicated kind of purple palette, but also with the neutrals in it, I just know I'll get a lot of use out of this for work, and they are performing so beautifully. They're not as good as like Be Perfect formula or even Beauty Bay formula. I'm going to go back in with that very vivid. This is a P. Louise 120. It's an excellent brush. I really like the Morphe M514. I've never been disappointed really with Morphe palettes. The ones I've bought and tried, I've generally really liked them. So, but I know a lot of people don't like them. A lot of people don't like Morphe though, but then a lot of people just don't like their palettes. I still don't know if they are closing their UK stores. As far as I know, like our stores are still open. And I love their brushes, so I've always been quite a big Morphe fan though. Like, I don't like everyone that they've chosen to collaborate with, and I think obviously they put a bit too much stock in their influencer marketing, but I've always been a bit of a fan. Right, I'll just throw a lash on, but that's pretty much the eyes. Yeah, I'll go throw a lash on and then we'll have a quick debrief on the palette, but like I do like the look. I think it's just this blush is throwing me off. I think it's too much, but I'm trying to be like the TikToks. I'm trying to be popular. I'm gonna be honest, I'm really happy I have this in my collection. I feel like over last year, as I did my declutters and got rid of palettes that I maybe liked the colour stories of, but I didn't use them, so I'd rather they went to someone else and went to a good home where they'd be used. I feel like I kind of lost a bit of purple in my collection, and I think that's what really drew me towards this palette. I've always liked Morphe eyeshadows. Like, James Charles palette was such a staple in my collection for so long. The Jaclyn Hill palette, loved it, and this hasn't disappointed me at all. I really like it. I think if you like these tones, you're gonna like this palette. It performs really well, but not disappointed in the slightest. Again, as I always say in this video, Morphe shimmers are not special. They're not gonna blow your socks off, but again, they do the job that they need to do. If you need to amp it up, add some glitter on, or use it, like add in a different palette. But I wouldn't buy this necessarily for the shimmers, although the tones are really pretty. I would just buy it mostly for the mattes and the purples, and I really like it. I'm really happy to have it in my collection, I'm not gonna lie. And again, I love how you can tell I've used it just by looking at the packaging. It's literally identical. But yeah, that is going to be all from me today. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to see the skin, I do that in a separate video where I try and do like makeup how TikTok people do it, and it's a fail, but anyway, that'll be coming next. Give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Leave me a comment down below. Are you interested in this palette? Did you pick it up? Do you think it's really boring, like most of the sausages do? Subscribe if you haven't already for more thrilling content from yours truly, and I'm gonna piss off. Thank you for watching, and I hope I'll catch you on the flip side. Bye!